What's up, guys? Nugi here, and the 2-week race is over. Ambush and Invasion, the 2-week league for charity for the Child Play event, is over. This also means that my little 2-week adventure is over for now. We had a lot of fun. So to recap, there were a lot of interesting things during the 2-week. Most interesting would be that GTG managed to raise through the Child's Play $25,000, meaning that Chris is gonna go bald. Who's excited? I am. Also, Pulp reached 98, so big congratulations to him. Though, however maddening it is to reach level 98, there's also a lot of things going to precede that, enable to get 98. Because I remember some of the week races where people would stay up for 20 hours a day, and I didn't get the impression that he was up for 20 hours a day. And this would be with mapping and all that. No, this time around, people were doing cartographer boxes. In Invasion and in Ambush, the difference between these two, or like hardcore and softcore, normally what we see is that in hardcore people tend to level to 100 faster than on softcore. It's been the case in all the recent leagues, so why not this one, Ambush Invasion? One of the reasons is cartographer boxes, and this is also now that we have our hardcore players getting introduced to that system in this 2-week league, show that when hardcore players are put under or are given the opportunity of a mechanic like a cartographer box, it goes really fast. 2 weeks to get level 98, Jesus Christ. This indicates that, okay, if they want to implement cartographer boxes in a permanent league, more permanent format, they're probably gonna get nerfed. They're gonna be less current, and when they spawn, I think we could imagine something that we cannot have +5 chest level on them. I don't know about the quantity of maps they drop. If they just reduce the amount, the quantity is, I would say, okay. One thing I really enjoyed about this 2-week experience is actually that I had cartographer boxes, just boxes in general. PoE has suffered for a long time, in my opinion, from too much RNG. To too much uncontrollable. Like, you cannot force RNG. We have seen a lot of different things happening though. 6 socketing, 5 linking, 6 linking, and all this have gotten easier. 4 linking. I don't know if 6 linking has gotten easier. 5 linking, 4 linking have gotten easier. You can now force RNG by using armor scraps. However, it comes down still to the point where armor scraps are also currency, so you still have to invest an amount. Like, is it gonna be... I don't think people fully understand how much and how good it is yet. I think on white basis, armor scrapping might be very good and cost efficient even. But if it's not cost efficient on like legendaries or uniques and such, maybe it's not good enough in terms of giving us these build enabling items, because a 5 link is a build enabling item. Even so, a 6 link for like an end game. I've always felt that 5 and 6 links should not be withheld from anyone. Getting the right uniques and getting the levels, yeah, that's what you struggle, what you work for. Getting the currency to roll these 5 links, yeah. But at one point, if you spend like 500 to get a 5 link, if you're really unlucky, and some other guy spends 10 to get a 6 link, you get really butthurt, and I don't think it's very constructive towards especially getting newer players in, because if they get that one bad experience, they're out. So these cartographer boxes and this whole experience with the invaders and everything was very nice. I felt that the invasion bosses had been nerfed to a good point. Making stuff easier is not always a bad thing. Having stuff that is too hard and too unforgiving is not all. It can be very discouraging for many players. And honestly, And PoE we want a larger player base, because a larger player base in an ARPG is always better. There are more people to trade with, more people to play with, more people to talk with. It's a multiplayer game. We're a community. We want to have fun and play with each other. So we need to like keep that in mind. So I hope that GG has seen how good this has been and how much. I really hope that they take all this positive feedback and use it. So I died 4 times, I think. I died the first time at 32. Oh yeah, the first time I died was because of overextending. So starting this 2 week, I was kind of rusty, and I died in Lunaris to a lot of titty bitches and vulnerability, Lunaris, that melee. Right, okay, good. Second time I died, I was playing on, I was 62, Molten Striker, and what happened here? Oh yeah, second time I died to a one-shot in the logout screen, and this was pretty crazy. I was farming in Chamber of Sins level 1, and the Exile with the Flame Blast came in. And if there's any Exile right now that's a little bit overpowered, I would say that's it. Because the charge of a Flame Blast is so quick, and the amount of damage output is so insanely high. The Flame Blast was a little bit slower in the charge up, the build up. The thing is, and what puzzles me is that on one hand you have an Exile that does a crap ton of damage, right? On the other hand you have the Invader Totem, and you can stand in the Flame Blast and it does absolutely nothing. And it gives you this, it's very odd, because you expect the Flame Blast to do a lot of damage. Okay, then it doesn't. Okay, so next time it's like, okay, I can probably survive this, and then you get one shot. Like, you have a visual and you have an experience, and you get the same visual but a different experience, and it's very confusing. And I would expect new players would find this very, very confusing, having the same thing happen on their screen but 2 completely different outcomes. So that was a bit odd. I got really unlucky. There was a little bit of lag, and I don't know. Like, that second death was kind of like, it was a freak accident, pretty much. It's something that if I had been a little bit faster on the logout, yeah, I could have survived. But that's what happens. It's one of those deaths that will happen every once in a while when you level up, because you are going fast. And like, my fire res was 60 something. It could have been 75. Even so, like, yeah, get your assist right. That's pretty much the lesson to be learned there. Third time I died, I disconnected. I disconnected from the game, and I died in docks. That sucked. That really put me down. Like, dying when it's your own fault, dying to something one-shotting you where you are reacting to it, but it's just not good enough. That's okay, but dying to disconnect, that really sucks. So I got quite upset that day, and I stopped early. So I made another character again, the Molten Striker, 4th time's a charm. I got it all the way up to 89. I had really good DPS. I was like killing courtyard bosses. And remember, this is all done solo self-found. So this whole experience was done solo self-found, the first 4 playthroughs. And I will say, solo self-found is really fun, especially with the boxes that you can roll them, and you can force the RNG in your way. With falling and being easier, with filing and be easier. Like, when I look back at the game in the beginning, this would not have been possible in the same way, because you would have been punished way too hard. You would have been, the chance of getting unlucky back then was too high. So now that I could actually roll my filing, and I did. I got all my, I just got a good amount of gear. The links were okay. The build was good. I could use a lot of different things. So overall, it was a really good experience. I didn't die. I was eating some ice cream. We just killed the metalsmith, and then Uber walks away with all his minions, and then, well, I didn't see that his minions were actually blocking a totem, so the totem shot me and I died. Oh, too bad. But that's what happens. Again, that's my mistake, so I wasn't really upset about that too much. And then immediately the day after started out with a Fireball character, 3 dragons. I stopped with the self-found because it was kind of pointless at that point. Now I just wanted to try out the 3 dragons helmet. So the 3 dragons helmet made it so that I could now shock with fire. Fireball being buffed and has 6% crit chance was a really fun thing to do, I think. I also have a little guide on the forums, you can check that out if you want. But overall, I think that the implementation of 3 dragons is what's really cool. It takes over your head spot, which is a very good defensive slot with a lot of ES, a lot of life, a lot of armor. You can have a lot of good things there. So the only thing you get is that you convert fire to be able to shock, and cold can now ignite, and shock can freeze, and you have that, and then some resist. A very cool helmet, build enabling, but also at a cost. I think that's a very nicely designed, unique. So the fireballer was doing quite well as well, good damage. Also something I learned that doing enough damage and actually pushing some more damage is also very good for defense. Though in hardcore, sometimes because of it, like for 99% of the time, if you have enough damage, you can pretty much just kill stuff fast enough for it to not pose a threat. But for that other part, you guys have probably seen my death, my most recent death on the fireballer, where I got pretty much one-shot by a mistake I made in smoke screening away from a box on a map that I didn't explore. Pretty fun stuff though, pretty fun stuff. I think that is the most hilarious deaths I've ever had in PoE. I've always wanted the one-shot devourer death, and I had it, so that was really cool. The 2 week ended up with me giving away a lot of stuff. I gave away a lot of maps. These cartographer boxes gave me so many maps, even solo. Even without card boxes, I experienced that I was actually able to maintain maps, even without card boxes. They weren't actually necessary to maintain 75 plus if I did proper chiseling and transmuting alterating, and the occasional regal on the 77-78 map. The recipes I learned was very potent as well. The chaos, the alks. I made a few videos about these, so go check them out. So in the future, I really hope that they're taking some of these concepts that they got from Ambush and Invasion, and they learn from them. Ambush was definitely the success of the last two leagues, and I really hope that GGG understands that you cannot just have pure punishment. You cannot just add punishment to players. We need feel good moments if they wanna keep us. So this was definitely 2 weeks of feel good moments, and I really enjoyed it. So in the future, for now, I'm not gonna stream PoE, at least not in the near future. And there might come a 1 week again that I might try out and stream, and maybe a 2 week again. Like the week races, I'm really enjoying. They're very fun. Like we're getting the full aspect of the game, where you start to finish, you trade, you create characters, you try out new builds, new skills. All of this coming into play. You use all the recipes. Week races are like where the most fun is had for me personally. So I'm probably gonna do at least 1 or 2 of them before the next big thing that I'm going to stream in PoE, which is going to be the Act 4. Act 4 is gonna come out not this next season, but the season after. So I'm really looking forward to that. I hope you guys are as well. Other than that, here on YouTube, I'm going to have a lore video series. I don't know exactly when I'm going to start with it. I think sometime next week, the first video, I want to have the first video out. I had an idea that I wanted to put out a video a day. That didn't seem to be very it didn't seem very constructive for me. I can't really put out that many videos because I have an idea that I want to put out good quality videos as well. So I'm gonna put out a video every other day, so every 2 days instead. So we're gonna have like 2-3 videos a week of like different content, Diablo, PoE, other things, and then we're gonna have that 1 video a week regarding lore, and we're gonna see where it takes us. So I'm very excited by that. So yeah, lore video, and then week races and the new Act 4 is you can look forward to here in the PoE session. There's gonna be a lot of other content as well regarding other games, but yeah, just follow the channel and you'll see. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and I'll see you guys next time.